Public interest technology is a vast ecosystem of computer programmers, lawyers, designers, all coalescence around the goal of how can technology serve the public interest.
Oftentimes in law schools, especially for people who are just entering practice, we don't really understand that technology touches every aspect of the law today, including social justice and public interest careers.
For me, public interest technology is about seeing the ways that advances and innovations in technology both create new opportunities for benefits to society as well as dangers to some things like human rights or safety of individuals.
Public interest technology makes sure that when we innovate, we're including everyone.
If you think about how the internet was designed, it's a web of cables, it's networks and computers and connections, but the location of where those cables are in the world determines who has access to fast broadband internet. It determines whose personal data is located where. And it determines increasingly how people even have access to basic public services, to social welfare and protection, and access to lawyers and representation.
Public interest technology to me is an opportunity to continue to have public service type of opportunities while also being able to engage in tech and law in an interdisciplinary way that we don't find in a lot of other industries.
It's a collaboration between many different parties, the legal aspect, the business aspect, and the social aspect as well.
The more and more our identities become digitized, the more that will become important for the intersection between technology and human rights.
We live in a country where, depending on the studies, we look at anywhere from 80 to over 90% of the people in our communities are not receiving the justice they deserve. And those numbers are just staggering, really, when you think about it. And it means that our traditional models of delivering legal services, the one-to-one model of one lawyer to one person, isn't working. And so we need to think about how to do things differently, and technology is one way we can do that.
These are really critical issues for lawyers who are interested in the public interest, who are interested in going into public interest law.
We have a unique opportunity as lawyers and students to help shape certain public policies and other social aspects and issues.
We have a certain perspective that we can bring to the table that is unique. We can think about the policy implications of things, how to structure the law to make sure that companies are held accountable by how their technology is used, for example. It can be litigation, it can be policy advocacy, it can be research, on-the-ground interviews. Any interest that someone could have in the law could manifest itself in a career in public interest technology.
What I think is important about thinking of ourselves as working in public interest technology is the fact that it brings people together under a broad umbrella with social justice and public interest at the center.
I am a
public
public
interest
interest technologist.